Thank you for joining us for this behind-the-scenes conversation here at CBS 8. I am so excited to lead this discussion because I am joined by my friend and my colleague, Chief Meteorologist Karlene Chavis. Did you hear me say the Chief Meteorologist?
Ooh, yes, I did.
Okay, so that's honestly why we are here today. Karlene, you were featured in the Washington Post because she is the Chief Meteorologist here at CBS 8, but Karlene, you're also the first Black Chief Meteorologist in San Diego. This is the 8th largest city in the United States.
Yes.
That's a pretty big deal. How did they find you?
They found me because of another chief meteorologist. Yes, and that's Betty Davis. She is based out of Florida. She works for the ABC affiliate there. And Betty and I connected when I was living in Miami because that's where I was before I came here.
I love it.
Yeah, and so they were actually doing a story on Veronica Johnson. She is the first Black female chief meteorologist in DC for her station.
Wow.
Yeah, so it took her about 30 years to get to that point.
Wow.
Yeah, and so then they started thinking, okay, how many female Black chief meteorologists are there in this country? And so started like looking for people, connected with Betty. Betty let them know about me.
Yes.
So it's been cool.
So it's a small club, but it's a
Yes.
thriving and growing club.
Yes.
Thank goodness. All right, so let's talk a little bit about it. What was your reaction to being included? Because unfortunately, you are a part of a small club, but we're making waves. What's your reaction to even being a part of it?
I was shocked when they initially reached out to me because you know this about me. I don't like talking about myself very much.
I'm pointing at her and looking at the camera because I had to ask her, hey girl, hey, can we please talk about this? This was national news, because she doesn't like talking about herself that much, but please continue.
No, I really don't. And so when they confronted me about, not even confronted, they were just like, hey, send me an email. And then I got back to them as soon as I could and just did the interview. And there were a couple of times that just the reporter gasped because of the things I was telling her that I've dealt with since being in this business as a whole, and then also being the first Black chief meteorologist when I got here to San Diego.
Yeah, so you and I have talked about this online. We've talked about this in another CBS 8 special about Black in media and representation. So for those gasp moments, tell me a little bit throughout your career. It doesn't have to be San Diego specific, but throughout your career, what were some of the most surprising things that viewers may not know that you had to encounter just to be the first Black chief meteorologist?
Well, it's just for me, it's always being the only or being the first. When I started my career, I wasn't the only meteorologist in my in the viewing market. So that was Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And so there was another Black female who was also there, and she was doing a wonderful job as well. Yeah. And she moved on to another market. And then someone confronted me when I was out in public in Palm Springs, and they're like, well, she left because, you know, we couldn't have two of you. And so to hear things like that, and then to go on to Miami, and I was the first Black meteorologist for my Black meteorologist for my station, and they have been advocating to have one. And so when I was there, hearing from the radio stations and other people in the media who are like, we have been waiting for you. We have been waiting for someone like you.
I love that.
Yeah, and they gave me a lot of support, and I appreciated that. Viewers did as well. And that came here. And it's, in a way, it's like starting all over again, because you're going from different markets. But I almost didn't take the job here because I knew what that would have meant. Being the first in this market, in the history of this market, history of this station, it's a lot of pressure. And I remember when I was on the job interview, sitting there having dinner with the news director at the time, and I said to him, I said, I don't know if I can do this. I said, why me? And he said, why not? Because that's a lot of weight. And because we're on TV, so everyone's already like honing in on you, focusing on you, everything about you. But to be in that position, to be the face of a station, to be the chief meteorologist for a station, to replace someone who had the position for 20 years, who people, I later discovered, believed looked like a chief meteorologist. I've been told by viewers here that I don't look like a chief meteorologist, that I only got this position because I'm Black. that disregards the fact that at that point I worked in the media market I worked as a meteorologist for over 10 years.
Yeah.
That I have a master's degree in Geological Sciences, that I worked in a top market. I worked in Miami. So I had experience covering severe weather. I had experience covering sunny days as well. And so it's a combination of everything. I had national coverage.
Yeah.
I also was on did weather for Fox for a New Year's Eve special. I also did it for NASCAR.
Yes.
I did it for a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But to have all that just dismissed and people say, it's only because you're black. That was hurtful, of course. And then just other people telling me that I'm too street to be on TV. And I know what that means.
I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're trying to do your job and you hear things like that, or you just did a really good solid weather hit and you go back and you hear a ding, and that's because it's an email, and then you read something that someone sends to you like that. It's very discouraging.
Every time we have this conversation, we've had it privately between Karlene and I, because I'm new to the area too, or I've been here now. I love it.
I'm about to say, you home now.
I'm home now. We're looking for a place to stay that we can afford, okay?
Yeah, seriously.
But it's like every time we have this conversation, it's a painful conversation for you, of course, because you're sharing your experiences, but it hurts to hear your friends say those things. I want to apologize to you because you deserve better. But I'm so excited about where we are now and where we're going from there. Karlene, this is my dream job, okay? Like, when I was a little girl, I saw myself on TV reporting by the beach.
Yes.
Thank God I'm here in San Diego. All of my dreams came true. But I feel like this is a dream for you too. When did you decide you want to even get into this business? How did that happen?
Well, that's funny because my parents were the ones who told me I was going to be in this business. And I said no. Because I'm so defiant. I
love it.
But my parents told me when I was a kid, I used to have weather balloons when I was growing up. I would try to create my own. Also, I just have a love when it comes to geological sciences, so I also was really interested in, people knows about me, paleontology.
Yes.
And so when I was younger, my parents said, you're going to end up being a meteorologist someday. And I remember saying, no, I'm not. And so I changed my major 3 times in college, went all over the place, tried to get out of it. I remember one time when I was in college, I tried to convince my mentor that I wanted to be a producer. And he gave me this look. And I said,
know the look.
Yes. It's the same look your mama give me when it's like, excuse you? And so he gave me that look, and I walked right out of his office. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to stay with weather. And the rest is history.
I love that stronger heads prevail. I'm so glad you decided to stay in weather. Okay, so what has been your experience in this role these days? Now you're the chief meteorologist. You have the incoming group of myself, you have Marcus. There is an influx of talent coming to San Diego that looks more like us.
Yes.
Does that help?
I love it.
Yes.
I love to see it, because the thing is, people always say you're the first, but for me, when someone says that, that reminds me I'm not going to be the last, because there are more minorities, there are more black journalists who are starting to pop up, not just here locally, but across the country. And the thing is, it's like you're not being hired because you're black. You're being hired because you're black and you're talented. You know what you're doing. You have the education, you have the experience. And so when someone just pinpoints it to one particular thing, it's like, that's not cool. That's not cool at all.
I love it.
So it's gotten better, and I'll say people have a hard time dealing with change, and over time things do get a little bit better. And I will say that it is not as bad as it was in the beginning. It was hard. Oh my goodness, it was hard. It was difficult, but I have a tight-knit circle of support who loves to love on me, and I appreciate that about them. And it's definitely gotten better over time. And even yesterday, I was out and someone came up to me with their kid, and they just wanted to say hi and take a picture. And it's not just black people that come up to me. It's everyone, every age, every race, everything. I love it. It's so great.
All right, so you weren't prepared for this, but we had a conversation about Black History Month, and I was like, Black History Month. All right, not everybody likes that, but there's this new movement, I think you like it too, Black Futures. And another idea behind this whole conversation is because you were the first Black Chief Meteorologist, you paved the way for people like me to come through. And because your experience, unfortunate as it was, you paved the way for the Black futures here in San Diego that maybe we won't have as rough of a go as you had when you first got here. So thank you for being a trailblazer for me and for so many other people and anyone that's just different. We appreciate that. All right, so final thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Now that we're talking Black futures and looking into the future, what do you see for the future of Black women in meteorology or just TV news? Like, let's look forward. What do you see?
I want to see more of us on, whether it's behind the scenes, on TV, in the business, in management, everything, because it's all a part of a community. And that's the thing. It's like people kind of want to say, okay, you only got hired because of one reason. It's like, no, that's not it. It's because you want to see a community, you want to see people at your job in this business that all look different, and also just seeing more talent that looks like us is amazing. And so, as I say, I might be the first, but I'm not the last, and that's what I hope for. I remember growing up as a kid, most people say, like, if you don't see it on TV, like, you can be whatever you want. But unless you see it on television, you see it in your face, you see someone who's in that role that you want, you won't believe it. Kids won't. And so to see, that's why we always say representation matters, to see ourselves on TV, to see ourselves behind the scenes, to see ourselves in management, because you want the stories told. And it's not just our community, it's all communities. And I even said that in the article as well. I want the business to look like everyone in the United States of America. I want every single person represented.
I love it.
Whether it's weather or news.
That goal. It's aspirational, but as we look towards the future, we got to get there. Karlene, thank you so much for doing this.
Handshake with that.
I got myself.
Okay, there we go.
You guys saw this on TV? I'm so glad that you came to do this. Thank you to CBS8 for allowing us this space to have this very important conversation. Let us know what you think. See y'all later.
Bye.